So we all got a wee grasp of that wedge. So that there is what every single time before you do a kettlebell swing, and I know sometimes it's easy in here to get carried away. You're like, oh fuck, there's a timer, whatever. See, the more you guys just take like an extra couple of seconds just to really nail that setup is like the make or break of your kettlebell swing, okay? Because if I'm kind of coming up, I'm kind of blasé and like I'm starting to curl with my back and then I like pull through with my arms and then try and shoot my hips forward. Imagine like you're loading a gun. So like your hips, that's the gun loaded and ready to go. So all you have to do is pull the trigger, and as soon as you let go, the hips they'll do the work for you. Okay? If you're like, and like trying to use your arms, that's kind of where you'll get a wee bit of jip in your lower back. Yeah, you're going to end up wrecking yourself doing that. Like that's where people get injured on the kettlebell swing, is when they just start letting it break down and their lower back starts to do the work. Okay, now there's a misconception that you shouldn't feel any of your lower back when you do any hinge work. You should feel a little bit because there's two big slabs of meat here, okay? And they have to do a job. They have to help you stabilize around here. This is your core. So if they're not doing their job, that's where your spine just starts to move freely, and that's the pain in your lower back, is when it's the bone and the vertebrae taking all the brunt of the load. Whenever they're doing their job, and it's like any muscle, when you contract it, you'll be like, fuck, I can feel that. It's whenever you're doing your swing, you want all of this stuff down the back to be doing the one job. It's when it's an isolated case, as in like your lower back is the only thing doing the job. That's when I'm like, right, we need to work on that, and we need to fix the kettlebell swing a wee bit more, okay? So what you guys are gonna do now, you've got some nice heavy kettlebells. I'm gonna take it back a step just to get you guys loading the hinge, and then we're gonna take it forward another couple of steps, okay? So instead of being back and focusing on our setup now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a step directly over the kettlebell. So here, if I stand up really tall and I look down, the kettlebell completely disappears from underneath me, all right? The handle, you can see, is in line with my ankles. So if I'm here and then I go to lift, the weight is behind my center of mass, as in the weight is behind my hips, and then that's when, again, I'll start to try and use my lower back a little bit more. So if I step forward, from here I slide down and I just get a good grip of the kettlebell. And then from there I break the handle and I start to think about lifting my hips and lifting my chest. And then from there, again, I'll feel a nice stretch on the hamstring. And all I want you guys to do is lift, back down, and we place the bell back where we found it. Okay, so from here, up, and see the way I'm crushing my glutes and shooting my hips through, and then back down to that start position again. Okay? So I want you guys to practice that. It should be the same sensation as when you were wedging back, that tension on the hamstrings. That's you loading the gun. Then when you pull the trigger, the hips come forward, the weight lifts with you. Okay? So again, try and keep it like 5 reps. I don't want to run down like 20 reps of this and then ended up busted before we even swing a kettlebell. But yeah, give those reps a couple of reps a go, and I'll get a walk around again.